Welcome to the Eyes the Ramper Engaging Alternatives podcast series. I'm your host, Elana Margulies-Snyderman, and with me today is Michael Frank, principal of Neuvation Ventures, a seed fund that backs U.S. companies driving deep tech innovation in brain health. Today, Michael will share his outlook for seed investing in deep tech companies driving innovation in brain health, including the greatest opportunities, challenges, and more. Before we dive into the conversation with Michael, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Eyes the Ramper wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also find us on YouTube at Eyes the Ramper. Hi, Michael. Thank you so much for being with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Michael. So to kick off the conversation, tell us a little about yourself and how you got to where you are today.
So Michael Jeffrey Frank, 3 first names. I like sort of kidding around. I'll answer to almost all of them. Out of college, I went down to the stock exchange floors and options market maker and a specialist, something I didn't know existed and only understood it when my brother met his wife-to-be. After building out a couple of trading firms and exiting in 2002, I was looking around for what to do, and I ended up coaching a lot of sports for my 3 children who are now grown and out of the house. More recently, I met Mahesh, my partner at Neuvation Ventures, at Propellify in Hoboken, New Jersey. It's a annual event that goes off with a lot of startups there. And we had met, and I started sort of liked him. He was smart. He was good looking. He was personable. And I was talking to him. He was talking about his current company and potentially working in brain health. And we started talking about it. And I started mentoring him. And eventually, we decided to form Neuvation Ventures.
At Eyes Ramper, we are creative problem solvers that take a 360-degree approach focusing on you. We're an award-winning firm with decades of experience. Eyes Ramper, let's get you ready.
So, Michael, given your focus on deep tech investing in companies driving innovation in brain health, I would love to hear your high-level outlook for the space.
I am bullish on helping people, in particular now that we have generative AI. If you're not using that, I don't even pay for ChatGPT. I use it for free on a regular basis and hardly ever gets shut out or has to pay money. But I think in healthcare in particular, these LLMs or whatever size AI you're using, I think is going to change the game dramatically for lots of businesses and healthcare. So I'm excited about it and I use it every day. And I just think I guess AI is to me bigger than electricity was for the human race. AI is bigger than the computer was for the human race. And for those who are not using it, they should be using it. For people that are worried about losing their job to AI, you're going to lose your job to someone using AI as an assistant or as another tool. I don't see it replacing, humans in certain things, although others it will. But I'm very bullish on it, and I'm very bullish on using it in healthcare. We now know that they're using it to read X-rays better and faster, and then pulling them out and having doctors sort of, have to look at them. And there's just so many different ways, testing and everything, that this is going to be huge, or is huge already, I believe.
And Michael, as a follow-up, what are some of the specific greatest opportunities you see in your space and why?
I think in general for startups, like if we talk about startups, not just brain health startups, but like I also am a co-founder of a community with 2 millennials, Gilder, and we have the knowledge community for founders. So I just think that you're going to see way more startups happening, and the amount of resources it takes to have a startup has gone down dramatically than when you can have an AI for $20 a month or $50 a month or whatever specific one you want to use, or whole groups of them. I think we recently saw someone who spun up a company and sold it for $90 million himself, one person, less than 6 months later. I'm not saying that's going to happen all over the place, but if you are now a founder, you don't need to raise $1 million and take 2 years to get your product out. You can With Lovable, you can build an app almost overnight. There's so many different things going on. So I think I'm very bullish for the LLMs or these AIs being used all throughout everything in the world and helping people build and do things. It's like I tell friends who are working on things, I'm like, just ask this question, like speak to your AI like a human, like dictate something and then watch it respond. I speak every Saturday to an AI called Bordy, Boardy. Calls me at 11:30. Good day, Mike. How's it going? How was your trip last week when we couldn't speak down the beach? Like it's talking to me, and it's helped me put together a deck for a firm for our latest offering. It was just like I find it amazing. It's making introductions for me to VCs and things. Like it's like the world is changing fast, and I believe for healthcare, it's going to reduce costs dramatically and certainly make things more efficient in creating integrations and ways to get things done that take so much time to allow people to concentrate on more important things.
Michael, on the other hand, what are some of the greatest challenges you face in your space and why?
For Neuvation, it's finding people that have interest in investing in a first time fund. And a lot of people say, come back on your third fund. Um, they are shooting for unicorns. They really don't, they like to invest in something like Neuvation, you'd have to have an axe to grind. What does that mean? You had a child grow up on the spectrum. You have a grandparent who has a fading memory and they're dealing with, Alzheimer's. Then you sort of go, oh, geez, I wish there was something here to help. And I'd like to invest in that kind of stuff. So I think it's just a function of getting to the right people at the right place to find them and also to find the companies and let them know you exist. But with, AI, those things are sort of changing as you add these tools.
Michael, we've covered a lot of ground today and wanted to see if there are any final thoughts you would like to share with us.
I think for all those out there in the world who are not using ChatGPT for free right now to do searches and things. Like I don't use the Google search, regular search anymore, ever. I've replaced it on my Google phone with ChatGPT, and you should experiment it and play with it. It's like having a free 6-figure employee on your arm to do some of the legwork and things like that. So to me, I find it super fascinating and super interesting, and it's helped me in many, many different ways. And people should be out there sort of looking at that and trying to use that to do better in whatever they're doing.
Michael, I want to thank you so much for sharing your perspective with our listeners. And thank you for listening to the Eisenramper podcast series. Visit eisenramper.com for more information on this and a host of other topics. And join us for our next Eisenramper podcast when we get down to business.